So thanks for that rundown, mate. So just now, like I want to kind of get into your life and your career right from the beginning. So just to start off, like where did you grow up?
So I was from a place called St Mary Cray, which is in South East London. So yeah, a little bit of a rough area, but I had a really good childhood. Not going to lie, I had a really good childhood around there. Some really good memories. I moved a little bit further out now as I moved into an adult and had a family. But yeah, that's where I grew up. Yeah, St Mary Cray.
What was it like growing up there? Was you involved with sports from early, or did that something that caught your eye later on?
Yes, I've always been in sport, but my sport was football.
Right.
So yeah, I played right up until I was about 15, and I love football. I always had a football with me, and we was always sound like a little bit like an old man now. But when I see all these kids on the games and never had any of that, I was always out. I was always out playing football or being active. So yeah, from a young age, I dabbled in. I'd done bits of karate, bits of boxing. So I'd always dabbled in martial arts. Always loved fighting from a kid.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson for me was one of my idols as a kid growing up, and always been into fighting. But the sport that took priority was football, really, until I got to about 15 years old.
And was it when you was at 15? Was that when you kind of made the switch to martial arts, or was that a bit later on?
A little bit later. So I had a period between when I sort of hit 15. I sort of went down the wrong road and getting into a little bit of trouble, doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. So I hit a patch for a couple of years where I didn't really do any sport at all, if I'm being honest. I was just being an idiot, if I'm being, brutally honest. And then it fell in when I was about 18. And a friend of mine actually originally wanted to go boxing to start.
Yeah.
And he called me up and said, look, we're not going to do boxing, we're going to do Thai boxing. I was a little bit educated on it, but not too much. I hadn't really seen a lot of it. The stuff that you've got now, it wasn't as big back then. You didn't have one championship then, Instagram wasn't around, there were certain platforms that weren't as big then. So that was the beginning of it for me when I hit about 18, and for me it was just a game changer, yeah, for sure.
And I'm interested in knowing, so obviously you said you was getting involved in things that you shouldn't have been at that time, and how important was the combat sports and the martial arts in kind of putting you on the right path? And like
Massively. I just it's funny. I just done a podcast last week and told them the same thing. It's just such a cheesy thing when well, it's not cheesy. It's true when people say it saved me and it done this and it done that, but it did. It absolutely did. And it took me onto the right path, and I'm be forever ever grateful for picking that route.
And was that like the discipline, the routine of training and things like that?
Yeah, and I think you get humbled very quickly. You can go in as sort of an 18-year-old kid, and I was humbled very quickly. I thought, I can have a fight, I can do this, I can do that, and I was getting humbled very, very quickly by people that you thought you might be able to take. Yeah. But you had that sort of young attitude, a little bit of an ego, and that went very quickly. And I was humbled very quickly. The discipline was, played a big part in it as well. And it felt like it was overnight. I just sort of went on this path and got my head down. I just put everything into it.